Good evening, Zimbabwe. This is Change Radio News. Today is Wednesday, 15 October 2025. The news is read by Divine Nambira. Here are the news headlines. Former Kenyan Prime Minister Raila Odinga dies. Senator Timba condemns Mnangagwa Term extension as assault on democracy. And Mnangagwa accuses Chiwenga of treason. And now for the news in detail. Kenya's former Prime Minister and longtime opposition leader Raila Odinga has died at the age of 80 while on a visit to India. Hospital officials in Kerala state say Odinga suffered a heart attack during a morning walk and could not be revived. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi led tributes, describing Odinga as a towering statesman. In Nairobi, mourners, including President William Ruto, gathered at his home. Odinga, a dominant figure in Kenyan politics for decades, ran for president 5 times without success. His closest bid came in 2007 when disputed results sparked deadly post-election violence. Odinga is remembered as a key champion of Kenya's democracy and multi-party reforms. President Nelson Chamisa has expressed sadness over the death of Mr. Raila Odinga. In a message on X, he said he was saddened to receive the tragic news of the passing of Mzee Raila Odinga, describing him as one of the iconic figures in the struggle for democracy and freedom in the fight for a better Africa. Senator Timba has condemned plans within the ruling party to extend Emmerson Mnangagwa's term to 2030, calling it a direct assault on the Constitution and democracy. The 2013 Constitution allows presidents to 2 terms in office. He warned that any bid to extend the president's tenure would betray the people's will, accusing the ruling elite of using unfinished projects as a cover for a power grab and continued looting of public funds. Timba demanded a forensic audit into the alleged disappearance of over $3 billion and urged citizens to defend the Constitution as others have done in Senegal, Zambia, Botswana, Mauritius, and Malawi. Let's hear Senator Timba as he speaks.
I'm honored to join this important conversation on the defense of our Constitution, the single most sacred covenant between the state and its citizens. Why is this conversation mattering now? We meet at a moment when the rule of law in Zimbabwe faces its greatest test since 2018. The ruling party has now made official its intention to extend the president's term to 2030, a move that openly violates the spirit and the letter of the Constitution that the people themselves adopted in 2018. This is not a technical amendment. It is an attempt to rewrite the people's will. And once the will of the people can be rewritten by those in power, democracy ceases to exist. Our Constitution is unambiguous. The President's authority to govern derives directly from the people, not from Parliament, and not from the party in power. Parliament may make laws, but it cannot manufacture legitimacy. That legitimacy flows only from the people's consent, expressed through free and fair elections within fixed constitutional limits. Any extension of presidential terms without a referendum is therefore unconstitutional and illegitimate. The so-called 2030 agenda is being sold as continuity to finish projects or compensate for lost COVID years. But in truth, it is continuity of something else. It is continuity of unaccountability, continuity of corruption, continuity of power without consent. The Constitution sets limits precisely to prevent that. Term limits are not an inconvenience. They are a safeguard, a safety valve to ensure that power remains a trust, not...
As the old adage goes, there is no honor among thieves. Emerson Mnangagwa has accused his vice Constantino Chiwenga of treason and warned against a coup during a tense ZANU-PF Politburo meeting in Harare. The warning comes ahead of the party's annual conference in Mutare, where a decision on extending Mnangagwa's rule beyond 2028 is expected. Legal Affairs Secretary Ziyambi described Chiwenga's recent document criticizing the president's 2030 agenda as treasonous and harmful to both the economy and party unity. However, political analysts say the feud is about power rather than national progress. Mnangagwa and Chiwenga were allies in the 2017 coup that brought Mnangagwa to power. There is a call for the citizens to safeguard the constitution and fight Mnangagwa's Agenda 2030. A 4-month-old baby girl has miraculously survived a tragic bus accident in Limpopo that claimed 43 lives, including 7 children. She is being treated alongside 49 other survivors at hospitals, including Siloam and Elim hospitals. Authorities are still trying to determine if the baby's parents survived. Officials from the 3 countries involved are coordinating efforts to recover and identify the victims. The government is appealing to relatives of victims of the DNC coaches bus crash in Limpopo, South Africa, to come forward for identification. Buses will transport families to South Africa, departing from Harare. Government has announced that school heads who send pupils home over unpaid fees will face prosecution. Primary and Secondary Education Minister Torirai Moyo told Parliament it is a chargeable offence to deny children access to class, a responsibility that rests with parents, not learners. Critics say the move is politically timed as ZANU-PF heads to Congress and fails to address ongoing economic hardships. Zimbabwe has recorded a 20% rise in road traffic accidents in the second quarter of 2025, with 15,350 crashes, including 492 fatalities. Zimstat reports a 30% surge in fatal accidents and low pass rates among drivers. Authorities have urged motorists to exercise extreme caution. A public hearing on climate change impacts will be held in Chiredzi South on 21 October 2025 at 9 a.m. School heads, village heads, government departments, and the public are invited to attend. Analysts warn that singling out officials may compromise the process. The Zimbabwe Republic Police is searching for nearly a dozen National Youth Service graduates linked to a viral video calling for the removal of President Mnangagwa. Critics say the move diverts attention from rising tensions ahead of planned protests on 17 October. In entertainment news, music star Winky D will headline the grand finale of Kasolaga's Decade of Braai with the Nation at Glamis Arena this Saturday. The event will also feature Tammy Moyo, Natty O, Enzo Inshal, DJ Tira, Heavy K, Saint Flo, XQ, Confused, Nisha T, and Master H. Delta Corporation says it will donate 10 hospital beds in each host city as part of its community support drive. The celebration marks 10 years of the Braai tradition and 130 years of Kasolaga, promising food, music, and unity nationwide. In international news, South African authorities have launched an urgent investigation after boxes of antiretroviral drugs and other medications were found among the wreckage of a bus that crashed on the N1 near Makado. Officials are concerned the drugs may have been transported illegally across borders. And finally, in sports news, Zimbabwe's IBF minimum weight champion Bevan Sibanda is expected to return to the ring in 3 months after a serious Achilles tendon injury sustained during training in August. The boxer, who was due to defend his title on October 4, says he is taking his recovery day by day and won't rush his return. Sibanda requires surgery and rehabilitation, and a fundraising initiative has been launched to support his recovery. To end the news bulletin, here are the headlines once again. Former Kenyan Prime Minister Raila Odinga dies. Senator Timba condemns Mnangagwa Term extension as assault on democracy. And Mnangagwa accuses Chiwenga of treason. And that concludes our bulletin for today. We thank you for listening. From myself, Divine Nambira, and the entire team at Change Radio, we wish you a blessed night.